Welcome back. The Mountain Dew 250 presented on Speed by Dodge continues from Talladega Superspeedway. Again, the fourth from the end as far as races go. It's just the fifth race here at Talladega for the Camping World Truck Series, and twice Todd Bodine has gone to victory lane. This time, though, it's Ron Hornaday pacing the field out in front. Bodine running second. Jason White, Craig Ghost, and Kyle Busch are your top five.
They had a little three-wide action in the back of that group. Everything's calm at the front, but they can't sort it out in the back. Hey, Ray, I saw something wild in the back straightaway between Starr and Skinner. What are they saying down there?
Well, I was listening to the radio, Mikey, and that was a deal they were trying to set up. They had talked it over with the spotters, and Skinner was intentionally dragging the brake to slow down for that outside line to catch up to see if it would go. But apparently Starr just caught him way, way too quickly. You'll watch here and see how quickly David Starr just jets to the outside, and that put Max Pappas right on the bumper of that Exide Toyota Tundra. So Mike Skinner was not very happy about that. He said, boy, I was trying to help the guy out here, and Starr went around him. But now those guys are right back in position on the racetrack, and the 81 is behind the 5, and they're going to try to set this up one more time.
Ray, if that was a plan, it wasn't a good one. I'll tell you that.
When that happened, if David Starr had not have driven out from around Mike Skinner, if he would have slammed on the brakes to stay behind Mike Skinner, he would definitely have gotten run over by the 9 of Max Pappas.
Yeah, and if he'd have taken all that momentum he had and put it on Skinner's tailgate, we'd be under caution right now, too.
Out in front again, a reminder, Hornaday had never led a lap here at this racetrack.
He likes it.
He changed that.
We've only raced here 4 times previously, but this is a racetrack now that I'm thinking Hornaday might enjoy out in front of Todd Bodine.
What about the past couple of weeks for Ron? We were at the Littlest track last week. He brings home a grandfather clock. First win there. Never led a lap here at Talladega. Now he's led the most laps today.
Remember, that was the first race with crew chief Butch Hilton back on top of the pit box last week at Martinsville.
Seeing 2 distinct lines trying to work their way around this racetrack.
And Kenny Schrader in the middle.
Ken Schrader in the middle, attacks to the back of that inside line now. Narain Karthikeyan in the 60 just in front of him.
Then we've got a group of about 3 trucks that are just hovering around in the back, making sure these guys keep it all sanitary, and if they don't, they've given themselves enough room to miss the crash.
Matt Crafton right there leads that pack. There's his teammate Johnny Sauter, the 13 truck, and Eric Almirola in the 51.
In practice yesterday, we saw Eric Almirola and Kyle Busch going nose to tail around this racetrack. And when those 2 trucks hooked up, it looked as though they were unbeatable. And now Eric Almirola drops back. He's in that little pack of 3 that you see coming through the turn. But he's at the back of that pack, so he hasn't really put the bumper to anyone to help out yet. He's just biding his time, it looks as though.
Did you see those speeds?
Yeah.
That those 3 trucks ran that last time? 195 miles an hour.
They're using all that air off the trucks ahead of them just to pull up through there. Now they're going to have to make a decision, Phil. How far do we want to go? How many laps do we want to run 195? You think we ought to slow her down and let them and keep that gap, or are we ready to make a run at it? We're not even halfway yet, so these guys need to exercise patience. Don't get all carried away because you're going so fast and drive into a position you don't want to be in. Right now, things are calm for this lead pack. So I bet you Matt Crafton rolls off the gas a little bit here before long and just doesn't grab all that momentum.
He didn't do it that lap because they were still the 3 fastest trucks out on the racetrack that lap.
Running a little higher line around the racetrack, the 88, the 13, and the 51.
That air is just amazing, isn't it, Michael? I mean, those trucks, we talk about how big a hole those trucks punch in the air. When you have all those trucks, probably, what, 15, 20 trucks punching that huge hole, but those guys back there, it's like they have 50 extra horsepower.
Well, and I'll just tell you this, Ken Schrader has run further than anyone. Every time I look up, he's the one on the outside. So he's got a different groove he's running. It's just above the guys on the bottom.
Krista, Craig Ghost has got to be getting some very valuable experience running in the 4th spot right now.
Absolutely. We talked about him in our speed spotlight and how this was the first time he's ever been in a truck. He has experience at this track. He will be one of our full-time drivers in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series next year. He's very quiet on the radio. When he did come in for his pit stop back on lap 25, he said, feels good, not too much to complain about. As I said, very quiet. I just wonder if he's looking in his rearview mirror thinking, wow, that's Kyle Busch pushing me, I'm in good shape, or wow, that's Kyle Busch behind me, I'm in trouble, right?
Just to let you know, Todd Bodine just came on the radio and he said, pass along some information to Rick Corelli and tell Ron Hornaday that I'm smelling rear end grease in the truck here. He said, I don't see anything on the tailgate of his truck right now, but I'm definitely getting an odor, so they may have a problem with that lead truck for Ron Hornaday.
And Ray, they just asked Hornaday on the radio, you don't smell anything, do you? Hornaday said he did not. We'll continue to monitor the situation with the race leader, but as of now, they don't believe they're the problem.
Hey, Phil, you know, we talked about Matt Kraft and them deciding they better slow down. They did that.
They did.
They got too close to that pack. They didn't like what they saw, and you could see they've fallen all the way back.
So they're running right now about 3 seconds behind our leader.
What about that battle at the back of that lead pack? Jennifer Jo Cobb and Grant Enfinger both in the lead draft, both running inside the top 15. What a great run for Jennifer Jo Cobb.
Was that Ginger?
That's Ginger.
Was Ginger.
Was Ginger.
Now
it's Jennifer Jo Cobb.
Race car driver Jennifer Jo Cobb. We saw the top three. They separated themselves from the pack for just a moment by about 2 to 3 truck lengths, and now that pack is closed back in. While they ride side by side, we can still see that pack of 3 behind them with Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter, and Eric Almirola. Those guys are keeping up pace, but keeping their distance. Shooting down the back stretch. Which strategy will work today? Ron Hornaday, Todd Bodine, Jason White, Craig Ghost, and Chris Fontaine running up front. Or is it the trucks that will run in the back to avoid the potential big one at Talladega? Coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you in high definition by Funai. Funai, fun and innovative. That was the exit to pit road light that the camera just ran into there. And sometimes when you're looking at the trucks around the racetrack, you don't pay attention to what's around you.
What about my man Schrader? I talked about him spending more time than anyone up in that outside groove. We went to break, he was last. Now with a big push from Kyle Busch, looks like he's going to try to grab the lead.
Got up side by side with a second place truck. Now he's going to drive by Todd Bodine and drive by Hornaday.
Drives by his teammate. That is Kenny Schrader in the 2, trying to lead a lap here at Talladega in the Camping World Truck Series.
Now will he jump down in front of his teammate or stay on the outside in front of Kyle Busch, the guy that pushed him to the lead?
One thing that the 30 of Todd Bodine didn't want to see is the 18 leading a lap here at Talladega.
Well, Ken Schrader led that one.
Kenny Schrader gets.
There he goes. He's going to do what I figured he might do, right? Go down and help out his teammate. Or do you go with the one that brought you? Do you dance with the one that brought you? Or do you be a good corporate partner?
Right now he's back out on that outside line, and here comes the inside line, moving once again. A little wiggle there as Todd Bodine got underneath the 33. Again, the bumpers don't line up.
Schrader was wiggling on the outside when Kyle Busch was pushing him.
They were dancing.
Something in common between the 2 trucks running up front. Hornaday has led on 39 of the 43 trucks that he has competed on, all but 4. Iowa, he's raced there twice, North Wilkesboro twice, Pocono, and Saugus. Well, Saugus is the last racetrack where Ken Schrader won. Ray Dunlap.
Guys, I think Schrader's staying up on the top intentionally to hold that 18 back there. But I can tell you this, when Ron Hornaday and the 2 in that group decides to come to pit road, Todd Bodine's going to run one more lap. He's going to stay out there on the racetrack in hopes of getting those bonus points. So when you see the 33 peel off for pit road, watch for the 30 to go right to the outside and pass him.
That's the problem right now we have when some of these guys start deciding to pit. It's going to be a scramble to try to get around those guys.
You know, we see this thing calm down after a restart, after 10, 15 laps after a restart, it calms down. But then when you get ready to make another pit stop, action picks up again. Everybody's trying to get the best position they can get, so when they come to pit road, they can exit with all the track position. That's when action starts to get crazy. We saw a caution flag right when they were getting ready to pit last time.
When you come onto pit road, you've got to have a partner because you can't make it around this racetrack on your own. So you've got to come in with the right group of people to make your way back out onto the track and get up front.
And remember, these tight drafts, these trucks will run 10, 12, 14 miles an hour faster than you will by yourself. So it won't take too many laps running by yourself to get way behind.
And is Kevin Harvick happy right now, or is he just on the edge of his seat? Both his trucks running side by side, 1-2. That feels good, but I bet he's nervous as well.
He may be holding his breath right now. Adam Alexander.
And his crew's working very hard in the area of communication. Rick, you talked about you have to have a partner on track. You have to have one on pit road too. So you have one when you return to the racing surface. Schrader's team and Hornaday's team talking a lot on pit road about when they will come and how they will get there together. So when they leave pit road, they can draft on the track once they return.
Guys, I'm telling you, I don't think we're more than a lap or two. Yeah, we're at a lap or two away from some of these trucks that pitted back on lap number 26 from coming down pit road.
You want to talk about a mess, run out of gas in the middle of all this pack, and then we'll have a big crash.
Almost like throwing a parachute out the back of your truck. Guys that we're talking about that pitted on lap 26, Hornaday, Bodine, Schrader, White, Skinner. Yes, by the way, those are our top 5 trucks on the track. Any lap now, we're thinking within a lap or two, they will have to make their way onto pit road.
Here come some of them now, Rick.
Ricky Carmichael is leading a truck onto pit road. He tailed off from the back.
Probably his teammate James Busher, it is, both out of the Turner Motorsports stable.
4 tires, fuel, paint.
That was the radio right there. Doug Randolph, crew chief for Ricky Carmichael, telling him 4 tires and fuel. Remember, they pitted back on lap 27, so this is their scheduled stop.
Watch for a trashy adjustment on the back of the Wolfpack Reynolds Chevrolet. They're going to go down on the track bar. We got right side tires on now. It'll be a 4-tire stop. Fuel going in that Chevrolet for James Busher. One more lap. We expect Mike Skinner to come in. The next lap after that, watch for the 33. Todd Bodine going to gamble. He'll stay out for 2 more laps.
That's a pretty big gamble.
That's a huge gamble.
Do not want to run out of fuel here at Talladega.
Here these trucks go. James Busher, Ricky Carmichael, and here comes the pack.
Pit, Ron, pit. Check your brakes.
Hear the words.
There's a truck that's run out of gas.
Joe Cobb slow on the racetrack. Looks as though they tried to stretch it too far, and it didn't work for Jennifer Jo Cobb.
And she'll be lucky, Phil, to make it back to the pit.
Yeah, she's just now into turn number 3, trying to wiggle it to get some gas into the pickup, but I'm not sure she's going to make it all the way back around.
Yeah, and if a couple guys can stretch this for a lap or two, they might pin some of our winning contending trucks a lap down here.
Remember, Hornaday's been told to come in this time. Who else is going to come with him?
Now he's got to be signaling right now to Todd Bodine. I'm going. I'm coming off of turn 4, and I'm going to be taking the hard left. So we'll see how this transition works for him. Oh, and it's
contact!
A lot of contact right there. We saw damage to the back of the 33 truck as well as the front of the 30. Bodine slowing on the racetrack now.
Jason White got in the back of Todd Bodine. We see it happen so many times.
Man, how come we can't choreograph that? We know we're pitting. Why can't we keep them running into each other?
Adam Alexander.
And Ron Hornaday just said he was in the wrong gear. Perhaps that's one of the reasons we saw the miscue out front. Not sure if that had anything to do with it or not. But Hornaday is on pit road. This is a scheduled stop at lap 59. The last time they came in and made a stop under caution at lap 26. It will be 4 tires because it will take so long to put in the fuel. There's no need to go with 2 tires only. Left side tires going on now. And Hornaday's service will be complete. And I believe Ken Schrader will be leaving pit road with him.
More
We're going to have
contact.
problems coming onto pit road. Max Pappas sliding sideways. He gets into the inside wall.
2 laps in a row, Michael. We can't manage to come down pit road.
I just don't understand it.
Fun and hit the wall.
A lot of damage to the front of the 9 truck of Max Pappas. His day is done. Fluid running out from underneath that. Jennifer Jo Cobb ran out of fuel. She couldn't get back to pit road. And we're under caution again, right?
Look at
Damage
that.
on the left front of Todd Bodine's and also on the right rear. The big question here will be, did he make it on the pit road and in the commitment cone before the yellow was out? We saw that crash for Max Pappas. They knew the caution was coming out, but they were going to run out of fuel, so they knew they would have to pit. Bear bond going on the front of this thing. Will the aerodynamics be okay for him to be competitive in the rest of this race? They continue to work on that left front. Couple of extra guys over the wall here. Looks like the damage on the right rear is not a big problem. They've got that fender under control. A lot of damage for Max Pappas, though, as he rolls down pit road right behind Todd Bodine here. We'll have to check and find out if Bodine made it onto pit road legally or not.